Alright, I'm about to show you my best techniques for getting the best mix that you can get. You can apply this to any program, but I'm about to show you the techniques that I use, how to get a mix like Jesus. Alright, let's go.
Yeah, I don't care. Been a struggle just for me to get here, and now I'm a prosper to my goal.
So the first half of this video is just gonna be for mixing, and the second half I'm gonna show you for the people that are producers. I'm gonna show you how to mix your beats like this. Get everything level, right? Alright, for the people that don't have like this plugin right here, Nectar 2, I'm gonna just leave that out. I'm gonna show you how to mix without that. Parametric EQ 2, you can find it right here under filters. What I like to do is I like to enlarge it to really be able to see all the frequency ranges. So I like to get it that big, right? What you're gonna do, you're just gonna listen.
I'ma put it all up in the air.
You see how it clipped on the low end? So I'm just gonna drag that.
I'ma put it all up
See
in
how
the
that
air.
it kind of silences it, makes it cleaner.
I'm
Alright, then the next step you're gonna do, you're just gonna drag it, and I'm using the mouse wheel to control how big this is. So you're just gonna do that, make it really small. Then you're gonna find your frequencies you don't like. So I'm gonna start off on 4, more towards the lower mid range.
I'ma put it all up in the air. I don't care.
Alright, so right there it's kind of sounding like weird, like boxy. So you're just gonna come over here, drag it straight down.
I'ma put it all up in the air. I don't care.
Until you get it to where you like it. Then you're gonna do the same thing with all these. So I'm just gonna quickly do all these.
I'ma put it all up in the air.
Alright, so right there, that you can clearly hear it's like something.
I'ma put it all up in the air.
But when you drag it down too low,
Been
you
a
see that?
struggle.
It kind of takes away from the vocal quality.
I'ma put it all up in the air. I don't care. Been a struggle just for me to get here, and now
until you get it to the right point. I like it right there. And then for the highs, I like to just boost it a little bit right there. And I also, what I forgot to tell you guys is I like to see this master chain, right? I like to, before I start EQing, what I always do is I always drag it up so that the vocal is boosted. It's way louder, so you can hear all the frequencies. You can play with it. Maybe sometimes when you EQ, it makes it lower. It makes it quieter, right? So you gotta drag it back up, maybe like that much. But yeah, for this one, I'm just gonna probably just drag it like that much. Alright, so if you don't have any fancy plugins, your next thing, I like to do saturation. So you're gonna come down here. You're just gonna be fastest, and you're just gonna play with it.
I'ma put it all
like really down.
I'ma put it all up in the air. I don't care. Been a struggle just for. I'ma put it all up in the air. I don't care.
And then you can take it off a little bit.
Alright,
so this is before.
I'ma put it all up in the air. I'ma put it all up.
See, it kind of makes your vocal stronger, right? Alright, so the next thing I like to add is delay. So you're gonna come over to your delay.
I'ma put it all.
And see how the first preset is very, very strong. So you're just gonna want to play with that. So right there, that sounds pretty good. And right here, you can play back with your feedback levels. So look, watch it all the way up.
I'ma put it.
There's a lot. Oh god, let's turn that down. Okay, it's basically how long it delays for. Right. So right there is pretty good. I like it about like 19%. Then the next step, I like to do reverb. I like to widen the size of the room. Let's bring down the bass a little bit. You don't want to interfere with anything else. Let's bring down the decay to 1 second. And then
I'ma put it all up in the air. I don't care. Been a struggle just for me to get here, and
alright, so right there, 16% sounds pretty good. Alright, so I'm gonna show you before and after. So here's without any edits.
I'ma put it all up in the air.
Alright, here's with the edits.
I'ma put it all up in the air. I don't care.
Following the same steps with the other tracks, and this is what it sounds like.
I'ma put it all up in the air. I don't care. Been a struggle just.
See, it sounds really good in the mix, right? It sits really well in the mix, right? Alright, and then the next, this is like a key thing for mixing. Like this is like the secret no one, like, you know what I mean? Alright, I'm about to show you the secret that I use. So you're gonna come back to your track.
I'ma put it.
So you're gonna come back to your inserts, and in the top left corner should be these two little stereo things, right? And they pop up this thing down here, right? You see that? Alright, so you're gonna come to your track, and so when you bring it to the left, that's gonna make it wider. It's gonna make a bigger sound. And when you bring it to the right, it's gonna make it like, you know, it's kind of more here. I'll show you.
I'ma put it all up in the air. I don't care. Been a struggle just for me to get here, and now.
Alright, you're gonna play with that until you like it, right? Then I'm gonna also show you a technique. If you record with 3 tracks, this is only if you recorded with more tracks. So let's say you got your ad-libs. Let's say you want the ad-libs to be a little bit merged to make it sound like, and if you put it left and right, to make it sound like they're here, then your single track is kind of everywhere. So it's like overlapping, but your ones on the left and right are just staying there, you know, if you don't want it to be all messy. So here's what it sounds like.
I'ma put it all up in the air. I don't care. Been a struggle just for me to get here, and now.
Alright, see how that sounds so much better just by playing with that stereo? Like, you could play with this for hours and get so many different combinations you can do. And it just makes your mix just sounds like so much more professional. Now I'm going to show you the levels that your voices should be at in the mix. Alright, so.
Been a struggle just for me to get here, and now I'ma prosper to my goal, release the heat everywhere.
Alright, so right there is a good level. Now I'm gonna show you what a bad level would sound like. I'm gonna show you what a level is too loud.
And now I'ma prosper to my goal, release the heat.
Right, the vocals kind of trampling over everything. Let's just bring it back down a little bit. And maybe bring the third track down.
And now I'ma prosper to.
Maybe even just a little bit more.
And now I'ma prosper to my goal, release the heat.
Right there, that sounds, you know, it's like in the mix. It's in the mix well. It's not being trampled over anything. However you like it, but just keep it to this sort of like level. Listen to professional mixes. Listen to all sorts of mixes that you like. And try to compare it with that, and because that's a good way to get a better mix, to look at how professionals do it. You know? Alright, second part of the video, this is for the producers that produce their own beats. Your kick should always be below like 3 or at 3. I have all my plugins, right? So if I turn that off, you hear that? It's clipping, it's not clean. So I'm going to turn off these ones. So parametric EQ. So what I did was I just put it down on the highest. You're just going to want it to be on the lower end and not on the highest. That's just going to make your song sound even more clean. Then I like to, for the balance, you're going to pull up Fruity Balance. And I like to have it at, you see this? 1.1 dB, right? I just like that, like on every single kick. Then after that, you're going to open up Fruity Soft Clipper, right? And you could just play with this threshold, right? Look. So that's obviously gonna lower your threshold, make your kick not pop, but all the way up, it's kicking harder. But if you just bring it back a little to where it's soft, but it's still kicking, right? That's your threshold, right? That's the thing. The kick isn't gonna go over your threshold because you got your threshold here. The kick is just gonna keep hitting the ceiling. So if you have your ceiling all the way up here, it's gonna clip, right? Say you bring it all the way down here, it's not gonna hit as hard. So you want to find that area where it's hitting good, but it's not clipping, or it's not a bad amount. And then with your post, that's the volume. I'm going to show you for your claps. Alright, so the first thing on the clap is a distort. You hear that? It's like, right? That's without it. That's with it. See, it adds just more, it just adds a little bit more, like, clap, crunch. It adds a little bit more crunch. For your EQ, you're just gonna wanna bring out you're just gonna turn down the very low ends, like where it gets over to like 50 hertz over here, because like you don't want that interrupting like the sub or like the kick, you know. You really just want it to stay over by the highs. Alright, now for your hi-hats. Most people just like to leave these empty, but I'm telling you, it's just gonna make it sound cleaner if you just do an EQ, find where the low end is dropping off, right? And just bring it down. Not too much, because then you're not gonna be able to hear it. Just bring it to where the low end is dropping off, and it's just gonna make it so it doesn't interfere with anything else in the mix in that lower end, and it's just gonna make your mix just sound better. Now with your sub, same thing with your sub. You're just gonna find the high end, right where the high end ends, and you're just gonna drop it off on the EQ. Alright, now I'm gonna show you how to edit your sample if you're using a sample. So you're gonna come into your EQ, and okay, so you're gonna want to find your low end of the sample. See where these little tiny things, see where those little things are hitting right here? That's unnecessary. It's to highs, right? So I like to boost the mids a little. Not too much, right? That's too much. And this is, you know, if you bring it down, that's not enough. You just want to find that perfect amount. You can boost the mids a little. Right there sounds good. If you have any percussion in your mix, like I do, okay, so I have chimes right here. As you hear, right? You're just gonna wanna throw some reverb on it. Make it end a little cleaner, right? Oh, another thing about the sample is you're just gonna wanna throw a little reverb on it. This is completely up to you, but I think it just makes it sound cleaner, so when it ends, it's like, you hear that? And then as it just has a lot more energy in the mix. Also, you're gonna want to come down here, and you see the stereo. I like it right there. So you can drag it to the right. It's gonna make it sound more, you know, more like in the middle, like one, not as loud. But be careful, because when you make it stereo image to the left, it's gonna make it louder. So you gotta turn it down. You gotta counter for that. For the sub, I like to have my sub at 6 dB. Right? I think 6 dB is just the perfect amount for a sub. I think kick 3 dB. That's just the perfect amount. And everything in your mix, it should not be going past 0. It should not even be coming close to 0. The loudest thing in your mix should be your kick. That's the loudest thing. Maybe your vocals almost at the same level as the kick. Anyway, that's how you get a cleaner mix. I hope this helped you, because it took me a minute to learn all these tips and, you know, tricks that I've just gathered up over the years. Anyway, hope you use these in your mix to make it sound way better. And have a Jesus day.
Go! It's a dream! I've been going so hard, I've been thinking about nothing else but my